For years, I built the perfect life, the successful career, the family, the respect of everyone around me. But inside, I was dying. I couldn't keep living in fear of who I was. I was suffocating in a life that wasn't mine. Until the moment I decided to take off the mask and let the world finally see me. I had no idea what would happen next. But here's what I learned. I remember the first time I realized I was different. I was just a kid, 7 or 8 years old. I'd watch the other boys with their girlfriends laughing, joking around, and I remember thinking, that's not me. I wasn't interested in the same things they were, but I shoved those thoughts deep down, told myself it was just a phase, a fluke. No one could ever know, not my parents, not my friends, and certainly not the world. As I got older, I learned how to play the role. I became the man everyone expected me to be. I dated women, went to parties, had relationships I never truly felt, but I kept pretending. I told myself I could make it work, that if I kept playing the part, I'd eventually feel what I was supposed to feel, but each time, it just got worse. Then came the day I realized I couldn't go on anymore. I was at the peak of my career. Everything I'd worked for had come true. I had the job, the house, the perfect wife, but inside I was hollow. I'd wake up every morning feeling like a stranger in my own life, like I was living someone else's story. Every night I'd stare at the ceiling, afraid of the truth I kept locked inside. One night at a family dinner, it all came crashing down. My wife, my kids, my parents, all sitting around the table laughing, proud of me. But I didn't feel proud. I felt like a fraud, like an outsider in the life I had built. That's when it hit me. I wasn't just lying to them, I was lying to myself. For years I had convinced myself this life was what I wanted, that this version of me was enough. But every single day felt like betrayal. Betrayal of who I really was. I remember standing by the window that night, looking out at the city I had built around myself, and I just couldn't do it anymore. No more pretending, no more hiding. It was time to come out. I was terrified, not just of losing my career or my reputation, but of losing the people I loved. I thought the truth might destroy everything, but then I realized something already had. I had already lost my authenticity, and I couldn't lose that too. Coming out wasn't perfect. It wasn't a magical moment of liberation like you see in movies. There were tears, arguments, silence. Some people didn't understand, but I learned something powerful. It wasn't about them, it was about me. It wasn't the world I was afraid of. It was the fear of losing myself. And when I let that fear go, I felt like I was breathing for the first time in years. It was hard, but it was the most freeing moment of my life. So here's what I learned. When you stop hiding, you start living. You give yourself permission to finally be honest. And no matter what happens, the most important person you need to face is you. Because the truth is the only thing that will ever set you free.